Seniors, should you get an e-bike or an e-trike? Stick around and find out. Hey everyone, I'm Dustin. I have 20 years experience in the bike and e-bike industry. And today we're gonna answer the question for seniors. Should you get an e-bike or an e-trike? Now, before I get into it, hit that subscribe button below. Stay in touch with us here at Sixthreezero. Be the first to know about all the new content we're putting out, giveaways we're doing, and of course, new product releases. All right, right here I've got our relaxed body e-bike and our simple glide 750 watt e-trike. Now, both are great options for seniors. And obviously one is a trike and one is an e-bike. Now I do a lot of test rides here in San Clemente and I get many riders over the age of 60, 70 that are looking for an electric bike, and they are torn sometimes between if they should go with a two-wheel e-bike or they should go with a three-wheel e-bike. So now, caveat is I can't, tell you definitively the choice you should make, but I can give you some suggestions and ideas and what I notice with a lot of riders when they come in shopping for either an e-bike and an e-trike. Now, many riders, they want an e-trike obviously because it's more balanced, stability. They don't have to worry about tipping over on an e-bike, right? Now, in addition to that, trikes drive a little bit different than e-bikes. So I do get a lot of people that come in and they try an e-trike and they're like, wow, this is much different than I expected. And then some of those people actually transition back to an e-bike because they're like, you know what? I actually feel more safe on two wheels than I did on three wheels. So that does happen. And part of that is because when you learn to ride, you learned on a two-wheeler, right? And you've been riding a two-wheeler most likely for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Transitioning to a three-wheeler is different. And for some can be challenging. And for some, they don't feel safe on a three-wheeler. So they often go back to a two-wheel bike. So now that's something you have to think about and maybe try out some trikes, try out riding on a three-wheel bike and see how it feels for you. The other thing about that though, is getting on the right three-wheel e-bike, right? So like the Simple Glide Fat Tire, this is our most intuitive, easy to steer model. Depending on the setup and configuration of your e-bike, they may be a little more, or your e-trike, it may be more challenging. More upright ones tend to steer a little bit different. This longer frame, a little more intuitive, easier to steer. So again, questions you'll have to answer for yourself as you see and understand what fits you best. Now, obviously, there's some level of risk in riding both of these. Again, you don't have to balance it all. So, but there is the possibility of tipping over if you go too fast on a trike or you ride incorrectly. Now, of course, you can crash an e-bike as well, right? If you accidentally hit the throttle or you drive incorrectly, that's another way you could possibly crash as well. So it's really gonna be up to you to figure out what is best for your body. The other thing I'm gonna say is, same with on the e-bike side, is maybe if you already have an e-bike and you don't feel safe, there could be some better options out there, like the relaxed body as an example. This is a semi-recumbent. So the seat is very low to the ground, which makes dismounting and dismounting very easy. You also have the pedals move forward, so even though the seat is low to the ground, you'll still get ample leg extension because you're pedaling out in front of your body. So if you're feeling unsafe or unsure about getting an e-bike, make sure you're choosing something that is conducive to your physical ability, right? So again, if you need a low step over, a low seat, all of those things, if you're on a two-wheel bike now and you don't feel safe, maybe it's just a question of getting on the right two-wheel e-bike so you do feel safe. And again, lots of different models you can check out. We also have our simple step-through with a very low step-through frame, which could be a good option as well. So it may not be as simple as that, okay, I need a three-wheel e-bike. It may be you have the wrong two-wheel e-bike as well. Now, the other thing you may want to consider is where will your body be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years? Now, if you feel good about your physical condition and you think that I can ride this bike or e-trike for the next, 3+ years, then maybe you get something that you can do today, but maybe in 3+ years, it may not be conducive to your body. So I say that because maybe there's a trike that you might be ready for in a year or two, but you can still do a 2-wheel e-bike. So maybe today you still want to stick to that 2-wheel e-bike, and maybe in 2-3 years, then you jump into a trike. With that said, again, that's up to you. Maybe you want to start with the trike today and just say, you know what, I want to do it today, get used to it because I can own this for the next 5, 10 years. Whereas you may realize that in a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years plus, whatever it may be, that you won't be able to do a 2-wheel e-bike. So something to consider. Again, totally up to you. If you're good with spending the money on a 2-wheel e-bike today, even with the idea that, okay, you know what, my arthritis is getting worse, or, I'm gonna have to have hip surgery and maybe my mobility will be limited in a year to do. At that point, I'll switch to a trike, which is perfectly fine. Again, just something that you might wanna consider, because I do see that with returning customers, they've had an e-bike and now they're switching to a trike. Or a lot of people buy a 2-wheel e-bike and they say, you know what, this just doesn't work for me. I need to go with a trike now. I don't feel safe on a 2-wheel e-bike. I'd rather get on the trike now so I feel stable and I can ride this for the next several years. So I've also seen people that have bought a trike and they come back and they say, you know what, I want to do a 2-wheel e-bike. I can still do it. I feel good on it. I want to go that direction. So all things to consider. The other thing too with a 2-wheel e-bike is it is going to be a little bit easier to transport. There's a lot more racks that are less expensive than racks for e-trikes in terms of transporting it. So if that's a big deal to you, something to consider, but obviously the number one most important thing is getting the right e-bike or e-trike to keep you safe and so you feel comfortable when you're out taking your rides. So I hope that helps. If you are a rider over 60 trying to decide between an e-bike and an e-trike, if you have any other questions or comments, please put them below or reach out to us, the team at Sixthreezero.com, or call us 310-982-2877. Don't forget, this e-bike and this e-trike linked in the description. Also, we offer a 30-day test ride your e-bike or e-trike policy. If you don't love it in the first 30 days, send it back. No questions asked, no money out of your pocket. We're also going to warranty everything for 1 year. Anything goes wrong in the first year, we'll take care of it, parts and labor. And if you want to come out for a test ride, we're here in San Clemente, California at 1046 Calle Recodo Unit K. Come test ride all of our e-bikes and e-trikes before you purchase to ensure you're making the right choice. Then when you have yours, well, actually rewind, join our community before you purchase as well. We have a Facebook group called Sixthreezero Peddlers. There's thousands of members in the group. Join before you purchase to talk to existing riders to ensure you're making the right choice again. Then when you have yours, post in the group, make friends, and finally download the app to track your rides and compete on the leaderboard. So thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey or experience. Enjoy the ride.